So I was gone for this weekend. Got a chance to be with the lovely family and everything, and on my phone it just kept ringing. Text messages just coming in left and right. I'm sitting like, oh wow. Big trade went down. I'm thinking that hell, Stafford went to the Cowboys or something. Then I looked again, okay, Stafford went to the LA Rams. Okay. And I believe in the hearts of hearts, the Detroit got the better end of the stick. They end up getting Jared Goff and multiple draft picks that you can move around and do a whole bunch of things with. Now, the Rams on the opposite end of everything, they got a veteran quarterback, right? And they've been a team that been to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, right? One can argue that the defense was there too. The defense were able to separate some things on that side of the coin. Nevertheless, they made some acquisitions to get a Jalen Ramsey. That team been trying, right? They got a young coach. They got new philosophies that a lot of NFL teams really not able to pick up, things like that, right? But the way they're doing it is just unique in a sense, right? They got rid of one of their better running backs, Todd Gurley, and ultimately now they got rid of their quarterback. Now, that's supposed to be the face of their franchise. And they said, you know what? We bring in Stafford. They'll see how that thing can shake. So, in the same breath of things, Cowboy Nation, if you can look into the mirror, would you be willing to do the same thing? Would you be willing to do all of that to get a Matthew Stafford? Or would you say to yourself, man, the quarterback that the Dallas Cowboys, although he's not under contract, but his name is Dak Prescott, man, if the Cowboys value him, man, will he be just as much of a worth or a value than a Matthew Stafford? Meaning that you see what the Rams did to get him, to acquire him, right? And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott versus a Matthew Stafford, but one can argue that Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Matthew Stafford. Now, I do know that people will be saying, okay, Law, Matthew Stafford is a better thrower of the ball, got more velocity, got more power, got more strength, accuracy, and things like that. They just love Matt Stafford. But none of his stuff, as it relates to the win column or category, says that. And somebody can say, well, winning is a team sport, not an individual. So if they want to paint that narrative, that's cool, right? So let's look into the Cowboys. There's a picture out there with a quote of Jimmy Johnson saying, hey, the Cowboys should have paid Dak Prescott 3 years ago. Or he would have paid Dak Prescott 3 years ago, right? There's multiple videos, me and others, talking about, hey, the Cowboys should have paid Dak Prescott when it was around 22 to 23, 24, 25, maybe 27 million as it relates to his market value. And now his market value is so high that the Cowboys been sitting on their thumbs or sitting on their hands with this situation. And so many people, not a few, so many people are saying, hey, look, let's just wash our hands with it and get rid of him. So who you going to have under center? Andy Dalton? You got to, look, this is a quarterback-driven league. It is. So even if you're going to go the route of drafting a guy, look, knowing the Cowboys rap sheet, it could be another Paxton Lynch. Remember, they had him high on their boards, right? It can be a situation like what we're seeing now with the Carson Wentz and the Jared Goffs of the world, right? None of those guys shook out and panned out. But a first-round draft talent is so important as it relates to quarterback. But sometimes you can't sully and denigrate what you got. I believe there's a famous philosopher said, do not spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't. Because at some point in time, the thing that you do have was something you dreamed for. So for the life of me, I would never know what was going on in the Joneses' mind. And if anybody want to be real, they can say the same, right? They can say, man, we don't know what's going on with the Joneses. because their price continue to rise, regardless of how we look at it. Now, the 2021 draft, still a land of unknown, right? Senior Bowl, yes, you saw some guys that you might want to like to see with a silver and blue on. But if it's for quarterback, man, you already know, growing pains. That's from the Senior Bowl all the way through this draft. So they're going to have to figure this thing out. It's one of those things whereas we can look at the situation and say, all right, cool. The Cowboys painted themselves in the corner. And what wedge the fan base from the owners, I guess, from the fan base, from the owners to the players to the fan base will be this salary cap. Everybody got their 2 cents rubbed together on this type of situation. So much so that people are expertise in finances, but their credit scores are like 500, you know. Can you imagine the keyboard warriors talking about, hey, you got to do this, got to do that, but the credit score is 500. So they know how to maneuver Dak Prescott's salary and the Dallas Cowboys pocketbook, but they can't manage their own, right? They staying with mama in them house and down in the basement with Pookie and Ray Ray. That's what this salary cap brought to the NFL, basically. It's bringing all of that. Everybody on their couches talking about money. Now, when somebody say, and this is the stupidity part of it, when somebody say, well, it's not about the money, it's about the years. Well, at the end of the day, that's the money. That's the money. It will always be the money, regardless of whether or not it's 5 years or 3 years. It goes back to the money. And it goes back to the guaranteed dollars. And the reality of it, see, people fail to realize, the NFL, when the first proposal was given, at the end of the day, the proposal was set for 16 weeks. Now it's an extra game. Yes, you can maneuver it and say, well, we'll just carry this and have it for another game. But no, that's an extra game of you being out there on the field. An extra game where you can lose everything. You could be the next Ryan Shazier. That's the reality of it. So the agents are looking at it like, no. So you want me to take more of an opportunity of a risk and less guaranteed money? More years, less guaranteed money than my counterparts, my contemporaries, those who play the same sport as me, those who already got their first check. That's the craziest thing. Now, Carson Wentz been benched, right? Oh, Goff now being traded. Jacoby Brissett, he's been on multiple teams, I believe, at this point. Paxton Lynch, I don't think that he's even playing in the National Football League. I could be wrong, but nobody's following him right now. So we got to look at the complete picture. It's like Madison right now. It's like Madison right now. See, when the Madison go down, it's nasty, but it's going to help out something. And that's what the pill that the Joneses got to take. They got to take this medicine. Now, if you really want to play hardball, regardless of how you look at it, you can do just this. Let the man walk and start all the way from scratch. That's super hard and stupidity right there. Or you can sell it a little bit more, put the franchise tag on them, and paint the picture of, hey, this will be more money than you ever seen. But sometimes it's not about the money, it's about the respect of the situation. Sometimes, look, you do this, you go to the grocery store or you go to the checkout counter and you have the lovely checkout cashier or whoever it may be. And you take the same money, whatever it's $5 or $6, whatever your total will be, you take it and throw it at her. And you tell her, hey, it's money. It's more money than you ever had. Here's $5. You throw it at her. You keep the change. Let me know how she will react or he will react. See, people fail to realize just because it's money, just because it's more than you ever have, doesn't mean that you can treat me like any old type of way. Come on now, this is reality speaking to you guys. Try it. Try. I dare anybody to try it and let me know of the reaction. Go to the cashier and let's say you buy a $2 Snicker bar, whatever it may be, or $2 whatever candy, and have a 10 in your hand and throw the 10 at them and say, keep the change. Let me know how their reaction will be. And then please don't let it be a roll of quarters. That's what the Cowboys collectively done. We gave you an offer. We gave you the money. But was it respectful? Well, this seemed like a saga that never is going to turn out or end the proper way. All we can do is say, well, the Joneses will eventually do the right thing. Well, the same can be said about the Joneses will eventually put Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. They will. They will eventually. They will. It'll eventually happen. We'll find out this offseason how all of this stuff can shake. But the number one goal the Cowboys must do is secure their quarterback. They got to. They got to secure the quarterback, because if not, any free agency we talking about in the pathway and the direction of the draft that we go into, it will all be convoluted because we will not know. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you all feel about everything that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me.